Good on the boards because Edwards for United absolutely dominating. Myself today, not having a bet, but if you'd like, of course, you can open up the Dabble app. You can jump into the banter channels where you can actually chat with other fans during the game, see what they think, or open up the activity feed or place your own bet. It is entirely up to you. Just set that deposit limit and enjoy the game.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
It is one of the most hotly anticipated throwdowns in history. The top two teams in the competition going toe-to-toe.
Doyle down low for Edwards, who hammers it down. Here's Golding. Back into the starting lineup.
And straight into the action.
Sobey pulls the trigger from outside to this strangling United defence, which continues to pile on the pressure as Walker hits a big three. Delaney dives after it, tosses it over his head to Krebs. Everything is coming up United.
Melbourne United with an 11-point win over South East Melbourne in throwdown 30.
Hello and welcome to the Hungry Jacks NBL Round 11 throwdown between the South East Melbourne Phoenix and Melbourne United here at John Cain Arena. Today is arguably one of the biggest days in the NBL calendar. All of our top four teams are in action, kicking things off with throwdown 31 here. And then Bryce Cotton heads to Perth to play the Perth Wildcats in the jungle for the first time since his departure. I'm joined courtside by Leonard Copeland and Andrew Gaze. Welcome in, guys. It's a massive day of Sunday hoops.
It is a massive day. Two teams that hate each other. Two teams are going to go at it. Both teams lost earlier in the week. They're looking to get back on track. And then after this game, after they get through beating each other up, we go to Perth and watch the Perth Wildcats beat up on Bryce Cotton.
Yeah, we're spoiled. This is one of the great days in NBL basketball this season so far. Going to be interesting to see how the Perth Wildcats react to Bryce Cotton coming home. And he's hoping they get around him and show the respect to the man that he deserves.
And now here at John Cain Arena, South East Melbourne, they're third on the ladder. They are yet to beat first or second. Copes, is today the day?
It could be the day. I just say, look, at the end of the day, they got to come out strong. They got to shoot the ball well. They got to play good defense in order for them to get a win.
And you look at the record, it's not impressive for the Phoenix. Now, they have been good. I love the Phoenix. I love the way they play. They do things a little bit differently. They get up and in. They extend on the defensive end. They cause turnovers, but they're coming off of one of the more remarkable games because, Copes, they launched up 58 three-point field goal attempts, not in one or two games, in one game against the Illawarra Hawks. And the unfortunate thing for them, Coach, they only made 16 of them.
Not going to work for you.
Now, we know with these two teams, they've got the little brother, big brother tag. Copes, you were saying you're absolutely sick of it.
Listen to me. If you're ever going to beat Melbourne United are the big brother. If you're ever going to beat them, you can't be friends with them. You can't be shaking hands before the game. All this la-di-da, I love you, brother, I'll see you now. I'll see you after the game type. You got to hate them. There has to be genuine hate in your eyes if you expect to be the king of the jungle.
Come on, Copes. It's all about what goes on once that ball goes up. Before the game, showing a little respect to your opponent. How you going? But as soon as that ball Gibbs, that's when we want to see all that emotion and energy out on the floor.
Now, we've got some breaking news that we have to address. We know that Melbourne United lost to Perth on Thursday. Clearly, it's rattled them because they're shaking things up.
This is one of the more remarkable talking points of this game. Dean Vickerman regarded the first 5 minutes of that game as some of the worst he's seen against the Wildcats in the history of his coaching tenure at Melbourne United. Look at this. Two of the starters started every game. Milton Doyle, he gone. Jesse Edwards, he gone, and CG43. Now, he hasn't started every game, but he gone. So this can work twofold. It can really jolt your team. But it also, even though that's some veteran guys we're talking about, that it can cause a few problems and you start to can build in some insecurities.
Absolutely it builds insecurity, because if you had a bad shooting night and you don't start, it could throw you off. Sometimes you can overcoach. I just don't know how this is going to work.
Do you think this is Dean Vickerman sending a warning through his camp if they're not playing well? He's going to make some changes?
No doubt about that. You're not making those types of sweeping changes. Look at that. Doyle, Golding and Walker, they're coming off a stinker, 6 of 36 collectively. So they need a lot more out of those three.
Absolutely. Let's get over to Joel Peterson with the Phoenix starting lineup.
Thank you, Steph. Of course, that is the big story, that Melbourne starting five, and a change for Josh King as well, with Hunter Maldonado stepping back into their starting group. The first time he started a game this season. And Daniel Foster drops out of that lineup. No Malik Lewis, no Owen Foxwell tonight for this afternoon for the South East Melbourne Phoenix. And for Melbourne United, they lose this afternoon's game. They will no longer, at least temporarily, occupy top spot on the NBL table. South East Melbourne hosting Melbourne. Throwdown 31. It's a sellout on a Sunday in John Cain Arena as Sobey goes straight to work for Melbourne. Brown recycles the possession, and Hunter gets us started with a three ball.
Well, Josh King said they're going to double down on their three-pointers, and certainly Hunter there, wide open. That's been a feature of his game this season, though, with his ability to knock down the three.
I'm still lost for words at this starting lineup. I just don't know what Dean Wickham is thinking.
Finn Delaney getting a triple to go.
It's something different, and like I said, it can turn out to be a positive. Time will tell, Coach.
Maldonado now for the Phoenix. Hot shooting start for both teams.
Well, and it can mess you up as well, Drew. Because when you've had a bad shooting game and your coach doesn't start you, you can lose confidence. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen. But at the end of the day, you want your stars being stars.
And Dean Bickerman has spoken throughout the course of the season. It's a mantra that he takes a hold of every time, is he will reward the guys who are going out there doing the right thing and playing well.
You say that, but they're 13-3. They've been playing exceptionally well. Sure, they had a downer against the Wildcats, but hey, like I said, I have an open mind about this because it's something that Dean's building a culture and he's trying to make a statement.
It's a pretty clear statement too. There is no hiding what he is trying to say, which is you guys better pick it up or you ain't going to be starting many games. As Hunter can't gather that one.
Josh King has gone to the Paul Westbrook playbook and just shoot threes. They're already whacked up 3 of them.
A league record 58 on Thursday for the South East Melbourne Phoenix. They have started here 2 of 3 from outside for their 4 attempts.
And the coach is not happy with that
Not
call.
happy at all. The other thing is, too, is Geordie Hunter, he's knocked down an early one, talk about confidence, but down the stretch against the Illawarra Hawks, he stayed away. Steele.
Hunter picks that off. Walker fouls him, going to the hoop.
But they lead the league in steals, Joel, and by a considerable margin. And they're up and in. Great. Well, that's just a fumble by Walker that time. And sacrificial foul.
Walker was outstanding last time these two teams met. 24, 6 and 6 in that throwdown in round 8 that Melbourne won by 11. They met in round 2. It was Melbourne who won that by 20. South East Melbourne just need to be able to go toe-to-toe with them for the duration this afternoon.
Joey, what kind of attitude would Doyle and Edwards have sitting on the bench right now?
Well, they're pros. They'll make the adjustment, but right now, the early signs, this is an impressive start by Phoenix.
Hunter, the hit ahead to Sobey, who absorbs the contact and finishes. Maldonado almost pinched it back, but he slipped out of court.
Well, this is just energy. They're out and running, offensive transition, pushing the ball with the pass or the dribble, and then straight away they react and get in the lanes for the defensive effort.
An early couple of blows landed by South East Melbourne. Here's Tom Coppins, who steps into the starting lineup for Dean Bickerman and gets one going to the rack there.
He's been a rookie for a while, and now getting his opportunity. He did an outstanding job with the Sandringham Sabres in the NBL 1, where he's MVP in the grand final.
Captain then to that title. Brown hangs, can't hit. Another offensive rebound opportunity for John Brown. Doesn't stay in green hands though. Delaney comes away with it. Tanner Krebs coming off a career best 29 against Perth. Beautiful find to Finn.
This is a problem they had against the Illawarra Hawks as well. The on-ball screen.
Their rotation.
They're hard show, which is fair enough, but there's got to be a little bit more weak side help or more ball pressure to make that pass to the roll a lot harder.
Brislavich denies Sobey. Tanner Krebs goes crashing into Chris Reed. They keep it alive here in South East Melbourne. Sobey relocates to the corner, can't hit. Another offensive rebound. Sobey goes through the chest.
And The offensive rebounds are hurting them. That's where you have your big fella Edwards in there.
Well, that's true, but it shouldn't come as a surprise. They had 27 offensive rebounds in that remarkable statistical game against the Illawarra Hawks.
They kept the stats block and busy in that one, those two teams, that's for sure. As Wandu rises up and gets his first points of the evening. Cole Peterson, Andrew Gaze, Lennart Copeland, Netball Cardinal with you. Sunday Hoops on the biggest day of this NBL season. Adelaide visiting Perth, 4:30 Eastern Daylight Time as Walker goes in and out and floats that one home.
He's just so smooth.
It is, and talking about confidence, he's one that needs to regain some. 1 of 11 against the Wildcats.
Oh. Very easily been called a foul.
I think it's a good no call. Real verdict, straight up and down.
Rivalry from outside, hands Melbourne the lead. Soviet, Tyson Walker having a few words in the backcourt.
Oh.
Getting heated up, those two. Walker's still going after him here. A little bit of early spite in this one. A bit of a brouhaha breaking out.
I like the argy-bargy. This is the sort of stuff that you were talking about.
Music to your ears.
I've been begging for this for years.
Wasn't a lot in it, in my view. Two guys just...
Was that his second foul? That's his second foul.
It is, but look at this. He just grabbed his arm, but it was a push-up.
Nickerman just steadying Tyson Walker down as he walks to the bench.
Oh.
Fair replacement. Milton Doyle comes in.
Wow.
Let's hope we just don't hear this whistle.
It is a fair replacement, but Milton Doyle is more of a 2. Yes, he can play the point. Tyson Walker gets everyone involved.
No, absolutely. I was talking more skill than I was position.
That'll go from Brown. He's keen to talk it up as well. I wonder who's getting involved with the crowd. Delaney's in there having his say.
Delay of game black. Delay of game black.
He's got a delay of game black for the last bit.
Take another look.
Goes in.
Yeah, we're going to clean up the game first.
Delay of game black. Why is that a delay of game black? He just got pushed out of the court. What? Talk to me, Coach.
I don't know. I just love the fact that they're going at it. I want to see some blood, sweat, and tears. Come on.
Oh, gee. Laney rifles that one into row A. Took the pass, did Finn Delaney, and now the reinforcements come in from Melbourne. Edwards for Kruzlovic, Golding for Krebs.
Well, normally after the first 3 or 4 minutes, sometimes the heat might have tapered ever so slightly, but since this tip, the heat is generated, and fortunately for Melbourne United, they got some of their key players back in the lineup. There's Sobi coming off the handoff, fading away 3. What a start by the Phoenix, 3 of 5 from the three-point line.
Sobi's got 5 in the early going. Doyle now, past the Delaney, little flip shot will fall. Take a look at the Amy replay here.
Just the handoff, and it don't take much. And Edwards, when that's Nathan Sobi coming off that handoff, he's got to be a whole lot tighter.
Still banging bodies, Brown and Delaney. Melbourne forced the turnover. Doyle back the other way. Edwards and Hunter going hard at one another, and Edwards is able to reach up and finish over the top of Geordie. Been a bruising start between these two teams. The throwdown living up to the moniker in the early phase. Iwandu to Brown.
That little turnaround was working for him early.
He's super efficient in that area. A lot of contact.
Bodies everywhere.
Delaney, Edwards, Coppins, Doyle, Golding, the 5 that Dean Bickerman's going with. So Tom Coppins getting some early extended minutes. Delaney thought about it, got Iwandu in the air and rolled into the hoop.
He's a pro.
Well, Melbourne United, Coach, they're perfect. A perfect 8 of 8 from the field.
And Josh King would not be happy with that.
8 of 8 and 4 turnovers so far for Melbourne. Hunter from outside. He just continues to stroke it.
He's just become a three-point specialist.
Both teams might be a little bit disappointed with the way the defensive end of the floor is playing out at the moment.
Well, they've already had 6 more shots now, the Phoenix, than Melbourne United.
Edwards across the lane. Of course, both of these teams started poorly the other night. Foul there called by Chris Reed. Foster in the league getting set to check in here for Melbourne. Dean Vickerman said their start was the worst 5 minutes of basketball he's seen. South East Melbourne had to rally back in that game from a big deficit early. They got down by 19 and 20 again in the third quarter. Nathan Sobey took over in the last on Thursday against the Hawks. Just wasn't quite enough in overtime.
Well, luckily the Hawks to get it to overtime. It was an underneath out-of-bounds play with, what, 3 seconds remaining? Something of that order. And there was just a miscommunication on the defensive end. So they worked their way back into a real winnable position, the Phoenix.
This guy was terrific on Thursday, Drewy. Wes Iwundu, 22 points on Thursday night.
He was aggressive. I think it's the most proactive we've seen since he's arrived here in Australia. And they got the reward for it.
3:45 remaining in this opening frame. Dash Daniels checks into the game now for Melbourne. Played a lot on Thursday. Has one go there and then overtook the second attempt. South East Melbourne up by 5. Having lost all 4 games against the top 2 teams by 10 or more this season. And that's going back the other way. Offensive foul is called on John Brown. First foul on John Brown in this ball game.
Brown wasn't happy about something.
He was happy about the call.
Here's Milton Doyle on the right wing, guarded by Sobey. Edwards comes across to slip the screen. Goes up against Allaire, who rejects him at the rim. That's a powerful denial from Allaire. Sobey for 3.
He's drilling it today.
Nathan Sobey off to another Quicksilver start. He's got 8 points in the opening frame, and that is South East Melbourne's lead.
And from that outstanding block, Milton Doyle's got to be a whole lot closer to Nathan Sobey early on. In fact, anyone on this Phoenix roster, because they've all got the green light to shoot the 3 ball. And they've come out all guns blazing. 5 of 7 white hot from the 3-point line.
So South East Melbourne 26 to Melbourne United 18. Let's have a listen to Milton Doyle, who caught up with Steph pre-game.
Obviously, it was a phenomenal start to the season for United. A tough loss during the week to Perth. Have you unpacked that loss?
Yeah, I think we just didn't start off with enough energy the first group, and it put us in a big hole, and it was hard to get out of that. So I think just getting back to that energy and playing hard, I think that'll help us out.
Phoenix also coming off a loss in Illawarra on Thursday. Do you think when both teams are looking for a redemption win, it adds some extra fight to some of these matches?
Yeah, for sure. Already coming in with the rivalry, it adds something extra to it. And then coming off a loss, coming fresh off the break, you need a win to build back that momentum. And when you're both of the teams are top in the league, you have to get some wins going back into the break.
So there's Milton Doyle with Steph Baumgartel pre-game. Now, we didn't know that he wasn't starting at that point. Steph, did you sense anything was off with Milton before the start of the game? Did you get any sort of feeling that something was awry?
Yeah, interesting, Joel, that he didn't mention that he was coming off the bench, but he spoke a little bit about their need to adjust after Perth. As an observation, he definitely was a little bit quieter than usual. Whether or not he was flat about his role change, I'm not sure, but it certainly seemed that he wasn't fully himself.
Well, when you've been a starter the whole season and the coach tells you, bro, I'm bringing you off the bench, it can sometimes take your voice. They tell you.
16 starts for Doyle, 16 starts for Edwards from their 16 appearances so far this season, so they had not been out of the starting lineup for the entire campaign, the two of them. Doyle stepping back here. 3 balls offline. Sobey's going to keep it alive. Daniel Foster got the first start of his career on Thursday night. He's back out there now, so Hunter, Glover, Allaire, Foster, Sobey for South East Melbourne. Daniels, Edwards, Bowen, Doyle, Golding the 5 for United. South East by 8. Allaire for 3.
They don't mind letting it fly, do they?
No. 4s, 5s, doesn't matter. Everyone's got a license if you're open, and Josh King encourages it.
Black 11's the first foul.
And the only way you shoot 58 is if the coach is giving you the green light.
That is the ultimate green light.
Well, he said after that game as well, you know, if we've got 70 open looks, then we'll shoot 73. Like, he is happy to keep jacking them up if they're open. And Nathan Sobey was a great example of that. What he did in that final quarter the other night, Drew, was absolutely remarkable. He goes 0 of 11, and then all of a sudden puts the team on his back.
No, that's right. And I think it also shows great maturity and poise by Nathan Sobey. When you're having one of those games, you can go on your shell. You're 0 of 11 before you make your first field goal, but he kept continuing to play regardless of the circumstances, and eventually it turned for him.
26-22 minutes remaining in the opening frame. Joel Peterson, Andrew Gaze, Leonard Copeland, and Steph Borgardle with you first of a Sunday doubleheader. As Glover turns that one over. Golding back the other way. Doyle trailing the play. Little handoff with Bowen. Milton goes to the rack. Good defense from Geordie Hunter to wall up.
Let's not forget Owen Foxwell's not here for Phoenix. He's still dealing with a corky issue, and obviously when you lose, you do notice when he's not around, his leadership. Oh my, another offensive board. Geordie Hunter, between him and Brown, Aaliyah, they have just got an instinct to crash the boards.
Best team at it in the competition, as Edwards is fouled by Hunter at the other end, who looks rather displeased with the call. 28-20, a minute 12 remaining in this opening frame. Of course, Hoops Fest next month. It is rolling around very quickly indeed. The answer is headed to Perth. Of course, NBA legend, cultural icon Allen Iverson. Don't miss out. Grab your tickets now at hoopsfest.com.au by scanning the QR code on your screen. It's a big day of basketball in Western Australia today, but it's going to be a massive couple of weeks over there in January when Hoops Fest rolls around.
Can't wait. It's fantastic for have all the teams coming together in one unbelievable basketball city.
NBL regular season action, part of the action as well this year.
You spoke about no Foxwell, no Malik Lewis as well, so
yeah,
they're down a couple of players who generally play good minutes.
Still dealing with a partially collapsed lung is Malik Lewis, as I wonder who goes to the hoop. Which doesn't sound like a great deal of fun, to be honest, Coach.
No, not at all.
Anything partially collapsed, generally not a great thing. Here's Krebs from outside. It's a wedgie from Tanner.
What's his first? And he's coming off a 12 and 14 outing, a career-high 29. So perhaps a little rushed on that one. Try and get him.
12-14, I'm getting it up as I come off the bench. I didn't know what's wrong with this guy.
No, I'm hearing you, Coach, but that one there looked like he was a little rushed.
There was an opportunity to take a shot from the bench. I reckon you'd do that as well, Coach.
Believe it. If I'm 12 or 14, you better believe it, son.
So with that man, Chris Golding, who misses that one. First field goal attempt for Golding tonight. Southeast Melbourne up by 8. Led at various stages in their games against the big two in the competition this year. Just haven't been able to close things out. They've done the early work here. Foster putting it on the floor.
That is a great
foul.
Sorry, that is a great draw for him.
Continues to grow in confidence, doesn't he, the youngster?
Well, this Melbourne United team, regarded as, if not the best, certainly one of the best defensive teams in the competition. Disregard the stats, but just from the way in which they play. But they have allowed a lot of penetration so far in this first quarter. And to give up already 31 points, possibly 32.
Well, Drew, they're shooting a lot of threes as well. So what do you do then? I mean, you're giving up drives and you're giving up threes.
Yeah.
You could very much be in trouble. You have to take one of those away.
Southeast Melbourne by 10. Time winding down in the opening frame. Delaney goes right at Brown. Can't hit. Offensive foul.
He was there a long time. It looked like Delaney was trying to go around him. He saw him. So he veers to the outside, slight veer. I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
They gave up 33 in the opening quarter on Thursday, Melbourne United. That was the most points they've given up in any opening quarter so far this season. They've given up 32 so far. Chris Reed, Ken Arrigan,
I'm just
Josh
reviewing
Durant.
the status of the ball because it may be bonus too.
Yeah, they're just checking now.
If it's in the hand or not.
Because if it's gone and left the hand, then it'll actually be a not player control and it'll be down the other end. But they've seen it is an offensive foul.
No bonus free throws. Glover to close out the quarter. Can he get it to go? No, not that time. But it is a 10-point lead for Southeast Melbourne as they go to quarter time. Their biggest quarter time lead of the season. 32-22 in throwdown 31. And it is all thanks to Choice Hotels.
Welcome back to John Cain Arena, where Melbourne United trails Southeast Melbourne by 10 points. We're set for a huge second quarter. I want to know, Leonard and Gazy, do you think the change to Melbourne's starting lineup is the reason they're now on the back foot?
I
Don't
think
be a
that's
chicken, Joyce.
No, I'm not being a chicken. It's about I think that's a simplification. We're all genius in hindsight,
Yes,
aren't
we are, but I think it's sort of messed up their momentum. It's sort of messed up their rotation. It's messed up their confidence.
Oh, dear.
Sometimes you can play with something that doesn't need to be fixed. You know, I mean, and look, Melbourne might go ahead and win this game. Great deal, but still.
Geordie Hunter's a perfect 4-4 right now.
Highly efficient.
3 of 3 from the three-point line.
Looks good. That shot is really dialed in. Southeast Melbourne out by a game-high 13 points. Milton Doyle cuts back into that. He's got 4 in the ball game now and 1 of 3 shooting. Delaney's got 9 on 4 of 4 for Melbourne. Hunter leads them in scoring, as you alluded to, Drew. He's got 11 points, 3 rebounds in the early going. Brown with another 2 there.
He's knocking that shot down consistently, isn't he?
John Brown has got 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists in a quarter and a bit.
It's just so easy right now for Phoenix on the offensive end. It's highly reactive defense by Melbourne United. They're not really forcing them in and out of any of their actions.
Joey, I got a question for you.
Yes.
I don't know why, if I ask you this question, you're going to answer it the right way or you're going to chicken out again. But I'm sort of seeing Melbourne United were the A team a month ago. Sort of seeing little bitty cracks, not sort of cracks, but they're just not as strong as they used to be.
Nothing, well, there's no doubt about that, just judging by the last 2 games, but that's a very, very small sample size. You go through those peaks and drops throughout the course of the season. Dean Vickerman calls a timeout because he would be disgusted of what's going on the O boards. They're just walking in there, second shots, easy shots, defense, not to Melbourne United standards.
Yep, they've had more offensive rebounds than Melbourne have had defensive rebounds in the early stage of this game, which is not good at all. What did you think of his answer? Did he chicken out of that?
No, he came strong on that one. He came strong on it. He did all right.
Of course, that answer, no need to sit on the fence there. 39-26, South East Melbourne lead. Melbourne United, they have led South East Melbourne in the second or third quarter in 3 of the 4 games against Melbourne and Adelaide so far this year. They have been able to take it up to them for 3 quarters. They just have not been able to close those games out. Some talent in the house. G-Flip is here, and they're with Steph.
Thanks, Phil. You never know who you're going to find at an NBL game. Today we have ARIA award-winning G-Flip in the house. How does it feel to be back in Melbourne?
It's so good, and what a game to come to, you know, first versus third. So it's going to be a great one.
Now, you're from Melbourne. You've got 2 Melbourne teams playing. How do you choose who to back?
South East Melbourne Phoenix all the way. Simon Mitchell, who's now the general manager, used to coach me back at Sandringham Sabres when I used to play as a kid. So, yeah, I always got around the Phoenix as soon as you guys came about.
What position were you on the court?
I was point guard. Yeah, all the way.
Love that. Now we know you've got a tour in the new year. Is that what's brought you back to Melbourne?
Yeah, got a tour coming up in March. Actually playing around the corner at MCA. So, yeah, down here for a bit. Going back to the States for Christmas, but then we'll be back over here in Oz for some shows.
Thanks so much for having a chat.
No worries. Cheers, mates. Go Phoenix.
G-Flip there with Steph Baumgartel. They were at cricket in Brisbane yesterday, so a busy couple of days for G-Flip, and I don't know about the treatment there, Drew. I'm not sure G-Flip's going to call you the worst person alive, but it's
No, she's
close.
a superstar. I can't believe she's here. I love everything about what she brings to the table. Love her tunes.
Very, very talented musician is G-Flip. 39-26. There'll be plenty of people packing into those concepts to see them at MCA just around the corner. Joel Peterson, Andrew Gaze, Leonard Copeland, Steph Baumgartel with you first of a Sunday doubleheader 2 minutes into this second term at South East by 13.
And that's 2 fouls on John Brown. The third, and he wasn't happy about that foul, but...
Krebs for 3. Got it. Tanner Krebs is loving life at the moment. He cuts that gap back to 10.
And he's the reason why Melbourne United's record what it is, because when Chris Golding was out, he helped carry this team.
A great start to the season. Tanner Krebs putting up career best numbers, 9.5 points a game, shooting at just under 50%. He's spoken about the fact that he had got a lot of reps in the off-season. He stayed healthy, and that's led him to some really good form. And that is a 3rd foul on Tyson Walker, who was rightly admonished by Dean Vickerman when he came off in the opening term and might get another speaking to here.
Well, this foul is the byproduct of a game, not being able to secure the ball. And another offensive rebound. They've just got guys flying in there. If they don't secure the ball themselves, Phoenix, they're tapping it out, just creating extra scoring opportunities. 2-9 is the second chance point situation in favour of the Phoenix.
Sobey's falling away, no good. Rebound to Kruzlovic. He's out there with Delaney, Krebs, Doyle and Golding at the moment, and Finn Delaney continues to impress. He's got 13. He's a perfect 6 of 6.
Lost control of the dribble. Ended up being an unbelievable fake. Everyone stopped playing.
Just like he drew it up. Maldonado whips that one into the crowd. A little bit too much zip on it for the outstretched hand of Geordie Hunter. Hunter, Alier, Sobey, Maldonado, Iwundu at the moment for South East Melbourne as Angus Glover checks in for Hunter Maldonado.
And that's another guy we want to see get going. Glover can light it up. All it takes is for him to knock down one.
Just like he showed us the movers in that first game as Milton Doyle has taken an extra step there. 39-31. Angus Glover is into the ball game. Steph Baumgartel, you had a chance to chat to Angus Glover pre-game about that Boomers experience. How did he enjoy it?
Yeah, he absolutely loved it. Even more impressive is his campaign was off the back of an injury, so there was no guarantee that he was actually going to be able to get up for these games, let alone dominate the way he did. He didn't leave it to chance, though. He was telling me he was getting in the hyperbaric chamber and doing absolutely everything he could.
He's battled his way through his fair share of injuries, as Angus Glover, so he knows how to get the body right, and he got himself in really good shape for those couple of games against the Kiwis, Drew. He played very, very well indeed.
He did, and much needed too. Had to find a way to get some points, get the scoreboard ticking over, and Angus Glover, he has the capacity to do that. He can light it up from the three-point line.
39 and 31, there you see their head-to-head record. United have dominated the rivalry over time. 9 and 21, won the past three, including both so far this season. Josh King weighing in on some of the refereeing.
I missed that one, but apparently he wasn't happy.
I'm not sure what the coaches expect us to do with that information a lot of the time. And now from outside, Golding gets one to fall, cuts the margin back to 5, and that will only add to the growing frustration of the Southeast Melbourne coach, Josh King. 39-34, 5:59 remaining here in the second period. We spoke about Angus Glover and his impact, particularly with the Boomers recently. Let's hear a little bit more about him, and facing up with the man who coached him in that series, Dean Vickerman.
Dean Vickerman, one of the coaches for the Boomers. Is there anything that you learned from him that you might take into today's game?
Yeah, there's a little bit that I won't divulge. But yeah, just I guess playing on the Dean and yeah, understanding his philosophies a bit more. Hopefully I'll be able to use it against him, but we'll see.
A little bit of intel going into enemy territory, sort of behind enemy lines type stuff when you're coached by the coach that's going to go against you in the next game.
Well, a little bit, completely different set of circumstances, of course, and
I would have let him play 40 minutes, run his legs out, make sure.
I think Dean had the pride of trying to get the win first.
Nah, bro, I'm playing. You playing against me next week? Come on, pal. I want you guarding this. Get up.
Well, I actually needed him, Angus Glover, so he was playing because he had to a lot of the times.
The Kiwis gave him the business in both of those games. It was a great series, wasn't it?
It was a fun series, real fun series, and it was down to the wire. Dave O'Hickey made a name for himself with some heroics in both the games, in fact.
Certainly made a name for himself, did Davo. Whether it was the right name in all the places that you heard that.
Come on now. Come on
another
now.
question entirely.
Our international friends, they're just... I thought there was a brotherhood amongst you colour commentators. Clearly not.
39-34. No, I've joined your brotherhood these days, Drew. You know that. Southeast Melbourne up by 5. Wesley Wundu probing through the defence, guarded by Golding. Turnaround. That is tough.
That's just a big body. That's just. He's giving him the look. Too small.
Wundu's come back and given him the too small.
There's a bit of feeling in this. There is some animosity between these two teams this afternoon. Tensions are rising on this Sunday. Golding from way downtown. That one falls off the front of the rim. Rebound Sobey. He flicks it ahead to Glover. 7-point Southeast Melbourne lead. Geordie Hunter, he finally misses one. 4 of 5 on the afternoon.
But it looked good though. When he left his hands, I thought that was in.
He's shooting it with real confidence at the moment. Playing with some real vigor and verve is the big man. Rizlovic tosses it back outside. Now he comes and sets the screen for Doyle. Glover chases him around it. Doyle up top, can't hit. Sobey with another rebound. He's been good in that part of the game in this quarter. He's got 3 boards, a couple of turnovers, but 8 points on 3 of 9 shooting. Hunter looking inside for Alir. That's taken away. Good hands from Rizlovic. Doyle with the spin move.
That's tough.
Really tough. Chris Golding, he's coming off an illness and make no excuse for his performance against Perth Wildcats, where his old 6 broke that streak of consecutive 3-pointers, but he still does not look 100%.
Rizlovic swats that one away from Sobey. 109 consecutive games for Chris Golding with the 3 was broken. As we take a look at the Amy replay here.
That's
nice
tough.
move from Iwundu.
There's the too small.
That's cheeky.
I'm really surprised Edwards is not, I mean, he's in now, but he's been on that bench a long time. I think he played
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
He's only averaging a little under 20, I believe, across the season.
Just over 21.
Just over, is it? So it's not like he logs major minutes.
But I like what he brings to the table. He plays good defense. Most of the time when he gets the ball, he's either dunking it or laying it off the glass. So
67% on the season.
Yeah, he provides enormous rim protection as well.
Fourth best rebounder in the competition. Second in offensive rebounds. He and John Brown, the two terrors on that end of the floor in terms of the offensive class. Number 1 and 2 in the competition. Southeast Melbourne by 7. 4 minutes remaining in this first half. Nice shot fake from Krebs. Got Sobey up in the air, couldn't stick it.
That pass just came a count late. You know when you got your shooter there, he's open for a count. It's just a little late, so he had to take the side step for the shot.
Melbourne top of the table, 13 and 3. Southeast second. Bowen blocks the 3 from Hunter. That's an impressive defensive play, and then Aaliyah can't keep it alive. Southeast Melbourne bench wanted the foul call.
all right, Hunter, you've shown us you can shoot it. Now get your big self down on that box, brother. That's enough of the threes.
A nice closeout. Good reach by Bowen.
Almost taking 3 threes a game, Geordie Hunter, and hitting more than 50% of them so far this season. Daniel's back out there for Melbourne now. Edwards is rollicking into the hoop and got a little bit out of control, but was fouled on the way through.
Despite his size, he has the ability to put the ball to the floor. And that time Hunter couldn't get his feet sliding quick enough. He checks out, so they go small. The Phoenix go real small now. Mitchell comes in. So Aaliyah is basically your 5-man, but it's really with the way Phoenix play, it's so spread. And difference between a 4 and a 5 is not as it is with some systems.
And they have an advantage on the offensive end because now they can stretch the floor. Edwards has to come out now and guard one of those guys who can, again, put it on the floor.
It's a game of pass, isn't it? Yes.
Burgers, code word is layoff. Get into the NBL app. Click the menu button, head to the Hungry Jacks section and grab that code word. Take it to your local Hungry Jacks store before 6 o'clock tomorrow and tell them Jesse sent you.
There's a... Daniels couldn't make the push shot, and they've called Edwards for a push. They got tangled up with Glover. Have a look at the bottom of your screen there. They get tangled up. Gee.
Bit of push and pull.
I think it was both push and pull. To me, that's a no.
Oh, no, look at the push.
A little push to start with. And
then he got some help, though.
I think the push came first, so good call by the officials.
Maldonado driving inside. Chris Reed calls the foul.
But you talk about where your advantage might be for Phoenix on the offensive end, but down the other end, it's how can you exploit Edwards now with his size advantage? And if you can get it, catching it anywhere around the no-charge circle, he goes up and dunks it because he's going to have that type of size advantage over any opponent out on the floor at the moment.
Goes up and sort of gets the Space Jam arm extended and just reaches over and goes whack.
What is it, Joe? Whack?
Whack. Can't say whack, you have to say with that for 10. Not as much fun unless you do it in that manner. 45-36, 2.5 remaining. Joel Peterson.
Gee, Edwards goes out, so Dean Vickerman sees what Phoenix is doing, and rather than thinking, well, we can exploit this on the offensive end, he makes these substitutions because he's concerned about what's happening on the defensive end, so he takes Edwards out.
Let's have two of the men who made basketball in Melbourne what it is today. Andrew Gaze and Leonard Copeland in commentary. Steph Baumgartel is courtside, and Delaney has just taken a bit too much time getting it in. And Josh King's team forces another turnover. That is what they do so well.
Right now,
Dean is irate.
His face has gone maroon.
Dean Vickerman's just flipped his lid at the other end, and that's not going to help that man's blood pressure.
That is funny.
He is going to be the colour of Angus Glover's hair. 47-36. That helps tremendously from Golding.
And that's just a ridiculous breakdown. How is Chris Golding to be that open in a half-court possession? You just can't allow that.
Ball movement from the Phoenix now. Mitchell out there. Glover, Alier, Maldonado, and Iwandu. 8-point game. Glover from way downtown.
That's what gets him going right there. He knocks down one, get him the ball in the next play.
He shot that from Traralgon. He's a couple of days early. They'll be there on Wednesday, and Angus Glover's already made the trip.
Oh, this is
Let's go, guys, two.
Steph Curry type range. That is outrageous. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Coppins comes back into the contest, replaces Krebs.
More importantly, though, Dean wouldn't be happy with the amount of points. Yes, they're shooting threes, but to have 50-plus points and a half is not where Dean Vickerman's team is used to be.
No, that's for sure. They usually do a good job of taking something away, and as you mentioned earlier, Coach, it's not clearly identifiable what that is, because Phoenix have been able to get to the rim and also been able to knock down the three ball.
And rebound the ball, and offensive rebound.
I think that's the biggest one, because that offensive rebounding shouldn't be a surprise given what they did against the Hawks.
Mitchell, shot fake, almost came in for the dunk. Doyle did enough, but DJ Mitchell able to adjust and still get it to go.
And we forget, DJ Mitchell can play, man. I mean, yes, he's 9th or 10th on this team, but he's been a player.
Score the ball in a couple of seasons with the Brisbane Bullets, of course. Alier takes it away. Great defense. Mitchell's got Maldonado up ahead. That one did everything but drop.
You just can't miss those shots.
Smokes the layup. Doyle back the other way.
Maldonado, this is an example of someone's confidence not where it needs to be.
The ball's already loose and it's incidental. No, he smacked me in the thing. Oh, I thought it was incidental. No. Incidental, he smacked me in the whole thing.
Doyle chatting it up with Josh Durant.
Well, he's talking about the previous possession when he was forced into a turnover.
Busy weekend for Josh Durant. He was refereeing WNBL in Perth on Friday night and coming back cross country to be here today.
Fine young official.
Fine mustache as well, boys.
Enjoy giving.
Very hirsute gentleman.
He's an up-and-comer. But generally builds a good rapport with the players. And spent a lot of time in the NBL1, so I got to see it a lot.
And discussed his work with him on occasions. Glover thought about it, put it on the floor, and gets it to go! And Angus Glover is hyped!
Great ball movement. The way they move that ball around, they got Melbourne United all over the place.
Look at that. That fumble actually helped the cause. We saw it earlier in the game, and this time the fumble, the defense overreacts, and oh, look at this. Jordy Hunter with the stare down.
He's red hot at the moment. Angus Glover, 7 points for him. Really impressive second quarter. They have all come in this quarter. Massive three-point bomb a couple of moments ago. Hunter's got 11 to lead them in scoring. Sobey's got 10. Delaney leads the game in scoring. He's 13 on 6 of 7 shooting. Southeast Melbourne by 12. Doyle cuts it back to 10.
That's too easy. You dribble down the court and pull up with nobody in your face.
Mitchell puts it on the floor and he gets go with one to carve. Second foul on Milton Doyle, called for the personal.
Yet another example, just straight penetration. Look how deep Mitchell's able to get. Gets all the way right into the paint. And they're penalising it both ways, because even if they go in there and it's help, they're kicking it out for the three ball, and the closeouts haven't been great for Melbourne United.
I just said 50 points. That was 58. in the last minute. They scored.
Coach, they're 57% from the field, 43% from threes.
Highest scoring first half Melbourne has given up throughout the course of the season.
They're flat. Take nothing away from Phoenix, but this Melbourne United team look flat.
That's three on Delaney. That is his third. Walker three, Delaney three. Those are the two guys that you started. The other three guys you didn't start.
Southeast Melbourne.
He stuck his tush out. Just can't do that. The way that's been officiated the last few years, you better be stationary. Any type of flinching, and you're going to get called for the moving screen.
They have really asserted themselves on these contests this afternoon. Have the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix 58-45, 22 seconds to play here in this Tangerine timeout. Big week for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, of course. Community a part of what they do. They're headed to Traralgon in the next couple of days, and earlier this week they held an all-inclusive life event. Anthony Koutafidis and his group coming down to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix for some clinic work and plenty of fun, some signing sessions as well with the Stars, which was absolutely fantastic to see. So great to see them supporting people from all walks of life in that program.
It certainly is, and get down to Traralgon, the Phoenix, and then, of course, the Melbourne United. They're taking their games, couple of games in Bend to go.
Oh, yes. And where would you rather go? Let's be honest.
Let's go, boys.
Where would you rather go? So two in Traralgon over the next couple of days with the Phoenix. They've got Tassie there in Ignite Cup action on Wednesday, and then they face New Zealand there as well next weekend. Melbourne United in the next round. They've got Sydney and Adelaide, so the tests keep coming for Melbourne. Number one in so many statistical categories this season, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. They lead by 13 here. It's been the performance that we wanted to see from them. Can they hold on and close it out here in this second half? What will they go into halftime with in terms of a lead? Aaliyah rams it home and puts the exclamation mark on the first half for Southeast Melbourne. Dean Vickerman was in the tunnel before the time had winded down. He was out of here. And Southeast go in up by 15 in throwdown 31. What a half of basketball that is from the Phoenix. Very, very impressive indeed. Geordie Hunter's red-hot shooting forms continued. He's with Steph.
An absolutely incredible start for the Phoenix there. You've got to be pretty happy with that. 60 points for you guys.
Yeah, great start. We've let some slip to these guys this season already, so we're going to make sure that's 0-0 in the second half.
Challenge is 40 minutes. How do you keep the momentum up?
We have good energy on the defensive end right now. Keep that rolling.
Thanks so much. Go well. What a start to Sunday hoops here at John Cain Arena. Southeast Melbourne with the lead and throwdown 31. Stay with us. The boys will be back after the break to go through the first half.
Want to hook up you and your mates to the ultimate NBL VIP experience?
Here's what Bunnings has got for your crew.
To hook up you and 4 mates, enter now.
Because they are so cute.
Biggest day of the season in this NBL campaign, and what a game we've got in our hands at John Cain Arena. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix lead at 60-45 at halftime. That would be a very happy locker room at the moment. Leonard Copeland and Andrew Gaze, there are our numbers. They are doing it ruthlessly, efficiently at the moment.
They certainly are, and there was no real change after that 32-point first quarter to then come out and give up 28. There was no real noticeable change in what they were doing. So the Phoenix on top and on the defensive end holding them to 45, but offensively getting out, running the floor, and the ease at which they're getting into the paint, Copes, has been something you don't normally see. Sure, they're knocking down the three ball, but I think Dean Vickerman would be just as concerned about the penetration.
Well, look, does that have anything to do with the guys he started? Yeah, a lot of people don't want to talk about that, but look, sometimes you throw them off their rotation, and at the end of the day, look, Walker 2 points, Edwards 4 points, CG 43 6 points. That's not what Melbourne United are. They're a defensive team and a team that can score the ball.
And without Walker there, he's picked up those 3 fouls, and he only played, 6.5 minutes or something in that order of that. So he's a big part of what they're doing. But Angus Glover and Geordie Hunter, they've been superb. Geordie Hunter maybe took a couple of threes that he shouldn't towards the end of that second half. But when you're before that, 11 points, 8 to Angus Glover. So they've been able to get it in a variety of different ways. They've really shared the scoring around, Joel.
Yeah, they've been a great 1-2 punch so far for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. On the other side of things, Finn Delaney's just been as efficient for Melbourne. They haven't had the greatest scoring punch, and of course the starting lineup change, Copes, but this man has been super consistent.
Well, I've been a fan of Finn Delaney's for a very long time. In fact, I tried to get Andrew Gaze to sign Delaney. Back in the day, he was just a bit too young, but he's been a superstar his whole life, and he's actually carrying this team right now. He's been tough with the runner. He's shooting 6 for 7, which means he's not shooting the ball enough. Get him a couple of more shots, let him go to work.
Game 200 for Finn Delaney. He's doing a really good job of it at the moment. Of course, we are, well, you could argue the entree before the main course this afternoon, because Bryce Cotton is headed back to Perth. That is going to be a showpiece event. Let's get courtside at RAC Arena and check in with Derek Rucker and Damian Martin. Damo, Ruck, this is going to be fun.
Good afternoon, Joel. This is a big one, and I stand here, of course, with the Perth legend, 6-time Defensive Player of the Year, Damian Martin. Damian, you know Bryce very well. Just be flat out, tell us what to expect.
Oh, it'll be Bryce at his best. He knows that the offensive team is always going to cater their defensive strategy about slowing him down. Now, you combine that with the emotion of returning to a place that he's helped win multiple flags, will go down as potentially the greatest Wildcat of all time. You know, he's only human. He knows what this game means to himself, his family, to the Red Army, and to his new life over there in Adelaide. But the one thing about Bryce that most people may not know is it did not matter whether it was preparing for a grand final, regular season, or pre-season. Around this time, this far from tip-off, he's back there in the locker room watching comedies. He's watching stand-up comedy on YouTube because it's his way of relaxing. The hard work's been done Monday through Friday. Hard work's been done the last 33 years of his life. Now he gets to go out there and have some fun, but tonight's going to be that little bit more meaningful.
And Damo, I'm sure you've answered this question 100 times. Will the Red Army boo Bryce Cotton when he comes on the floor?
Revoke their membership if they boo him. Now,
thank you, Damo.
Especially at the introduction now, I'm all for there being a tribute video, a standing ovation. I'm not even opposed to if he scores his first basket, he gets a standing O from the Red Army. After that, he plays for the opposition team. The Red Army should treat him accordingly, but not in a way where they're booing him whatsoever. He's been amazing. So many people come up to me saying, I remember where I was when BC dropped 40. I remember where I was when BC hit a game winner. And a lot of those same people are going to be out there in the seats, and I hope they get off those seats to give a reception that BC's never heard before.
As I'm sure the two of you will, looking forward to that coming up after us this afternoon at John Cain Arena. Big second half coming up here. Thanks to Damo, thanks to Ruck. It is going to be the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. So go into it up by 15. Can Melbourne fight back? We'll find out next.
Okay, we've got 3 now. You're about to call the stakes. Okay, we're going to put it up there. Now we've got a sign here. What have we got on the sign that says, don't remind you know, not about how you look at things. Well, here at half time, hey, how much do you think the team's going to win by today? It's 15-point game. Can we hold on? 6 or 7 points. I think we're going to win by 6 or 7. Hey, you know, we're up by 15, so if we win by 6 or 7, that's not necessarily a good thing. But these kids out here having a good time. You can get involved too with the party. You're going to put a QR code up on the big screen. You can see it just around your opportunity to get involved with the birthday parties. You can do it as well. Just get that QR code, sign up on the website. Phoenix birthday parties. You can be like Jake. You have some fun here at Phoenix. Hey, the QR code is on the big screen.
Let's go, DJ! Yeah!
It's part of the journey, it's part of the process of a season. We haven't managed to beat Adelaide or Melbourne United this year, but that's the next on our bucket list or to-do list. And I think if we stick to the process and believe in each other and keep focusing on ourselves, that we have the right pieces intact to do that. Once the season starts, you want to win every game, so it's really difficult to have a fever break coming off of a loss. So that's in the back of my mind as a competitor. But like, the guys are playing hard, they've been super coachable, and I know they want to get better and improve themselves to be the top team in the league. And that's our goal, is to be the top team in the league. So that's what we're chasing. So we're not there yet, but hopefully by the end of the year, we'll put ourselves in position to be the best.
They're putting themselves in a mighty good position in this game against the competition's best at the moment. Josh King would have to be delighted with what his team has provided so far. 60-45, the South East Melbourne lead as we go into the second half of Throwdown 31. Joel Peterson alongside NBL legends Andrew Gaze and Leonard Copeland. Steph Baumgartel courtside with you this afternoon, the first of a Sunday doubleheader. Thanks for joining us here in the Hungry Jacks NBL round 11. Melbourne having won the first 2 throwdowns of the season against South East, but they find themselves on the back foot as Milton Doyle tries to regain some momentum.
Well, they come back with Edwards and Doyle to start this second half. Still no Chris Golding. He's the missing one of the regular starters.
And Krebs pinches that one from Iwundu. That was called a foul.
13. Holds him.
Dean Vickerman immediately turns to his crew to see if it's challengeable or worth challenging.
And speaking of fouls, if you're smart, you go at Walker straight away, get him in that 4th foul. So now all of a sudden, they got to come with a different lineup.
3 fouls in 7 minutes of game time for Tyson Walker. 2 points, only the 1 field goal attempt. Remember, he had 24, 6 and 6 and was the best player on the floor last time these 2 teams met.
Now, I'm not critical of the referees at all, but the first half, you let them beat the crap out of each other, and then the first 2 plays is a foul. Nah.
I think,
unless you've had that conversation with them and said, look, we're going to tighten it up a little bit. You guys, you know, keep your hand in or whatever. But
No, but those two possessions, I have no problem with that foul they just called on Nathan Sobey, and down the other end did look like there was a hole.
Are you saying in the first half they didn't let a lot of stuff go?
No, that's right, but I'm just saying those two in particular to start this one, I thought
they're normal fouls.
Yeah.
But if you don't call them in the first half, people don't expect it for you to call them in the second half.
It has been a physical game. There's been a bit going on throughout. Maldonado.
See, this is what people are doing now.
Called for the offensive foul.
Whenever there's a screen, you just fall on the ground. Now he leans forward, but Walker could have got around that screen. But right now you're getting rewarded. Now it's just a slight moving forward, but sometimes you move forward because you want to protect yourself. So
that's 3 calls in 48 seconds.
Just still rubbing the side of the head there. He's had his cage rattled, as Tyson Walker.
But right now, if someone's setting a screen, just run into him, fall on the ground, and you've got a 50% chance you might get it.
It's not the most attractive game plan of all time, but it's a plan nonetheless. Melbourne with the first 4 points of this third term. Walker falling away to the baseline. Edwards had a good old hold of Geordie Hunter's arm. Rebound falls to Sobey. I wonder with confidence.
He shoots that thing with confidence he does, doesn't he?
We don't play as many NBA games as he has if you can't play the game. And he's got good size, athletic, can shoot the 3, and is getting more comfortable with the system here. And in particular, the Josh King system, where they're up and in, they're putting some pressure, and then they can explode with their offensive transition and create those types of opportunities.
And he has the perfect body style, too. He's long, he's wiry, he likes to play defense. So a lot of people I know don't like to play defense.
That's a nice shot by Krebs. Continues his hot streak.
So at least you had 2 things in common with him, Coach. Long and wiry.
Some people just don't understand the IQ of the game. Now, sometimes it can look like there's not a lot going on.
Brown can't hit. Edwards pulls down the rebound. Southeast Melbourne have controlled this game throughout. Can they close one out against their biggest rival as Edwards dumps it down and Josh King is out of his seat straight away and leaping across to call for timeout. 7:55 to play, so just over 2 minutes gone. And Melbourne have cut into that lead. It was 15 at half-time. It is now at 9, 63-54 at the Tangerine timeout. We've spoken about Dean Vickerman. Of course, he made the starting lineup adjustment. He's been various shades of red at different points in the game. Let's have a listen to him here.
Only what I want to improve is how we just build out to our Clipper stance right here. Every other one we've been good. All right, get that one right. Hey, next one. As you're coming up right here, I want you to come up, push him off, and just turn straight back to the rim. All right? He's just denying you so hard right now. Just fly up, push him up, and we're just going to throw this on the foul mid right now. All right? I think it's better keeping it with the point guard right now. All right? You guys keep setting that back screen and make it more a flare to the corner. Hey, if it's not on, it's not on. All right? Then you guys have got Bill playing out the next part of it. All right?
There's Dean Vickerman, the Melbourne United coach, of course. It's Space Jam round across the NBL in partnership with Warner Brothers, celebrating 30 years of the iconic film. All 10 teams will be hitting the court across this round in exclusive Space Jam jerseys we saw earlier in the round from these 2 teams. Inspired by the universe. On sale now. Grab yours at nblstore.com.au or scan the QR code on the screen. 63-54. Southeast Melbourne holding sway. Can they hold on? Can they take down one of these top 2 teams for the first time all season and start closing the gap on the NBL's truly elite? Hunter's off the front of the rim. I wonder will pull it in for the Phoenix.
And this is where the Phoenix miss Foxwell, putting them in their offense, setting up guys. Maldonado is a very good player, but he's not a solid point guard.
Hunter not showing any ill effects of it there. Turnaround from the big fella. He's got 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting, 4 rebounds and 2 assists. dominating any particular statistical category in the game. Doyle can't get that to go. Kept the handle alive. Sobey races up the floor, takes the contact from Krebs, a couple of former Brisbane Bullets teammates. Sobey slow to his feet. Doyle up the other end, walks into a wide-open triple.
And that hurts him. Yes, he got knocked down, but he has to get back up straight away. He's 5-on-4.
It's a 2-on-1, and Doyle just stops at the three-point line. And Edwards underneath, but took it. It's a big bucket.
12 points to 5. Melbourne here in this quarter. Maldonado. The free throw line jumper is good. Had some good minutes the other night for Josh King, having not played in about a month. Hunter Maldonado with some concussion. Edwards runs over. And he's called for the offensive foul.
14. Charge.
Seeks the explanation from Ken Arick. See him clatter into Hunter Maldonado.
Dean Bingham is going to challenge.
Indeed he is. So the Melbourne coach will call the Tangerine timeout and take another look at it.
I don't even comment on these because I know I'm wrong.
No, but on that last replay, coach, and this is the hardest one to adjudicate. And look at from the angle underneath the bucket. Maldonado, was he moving across it? Has he established the defensive position?
Oh, he moved a little bit.
A little.
Just flexes that right knee inward.
This is a tough one for the, because it's a 50-51 in my opinion.
You sort of need to be here to know what you're talking about. You need to be in the...
There it is. So he just turns, but is he turning just to protect himself? He's got a 6'10" guy barreling down on him.
Nah, don't make excuses. If you're going to take the charge, you take the charge.
Well, did he take the charge?
I'll tell you in a few seconds.
Oh, man.
Jeez, sitting on the fence that Damon Lowry built.
No, I'm not sitting on the fence. I'll tell you right now, he did not take the charge.
Let's look at this angle.
Said with real authority, coach.
It's a bang play. It happens so quick. Challenge is unsuccessful, so they adjudicate that he was set, and he did take the charge.
67-57, Dean Vickerman loses his challenge. Let's go into the replay centre and check in with Scott Butler. Scott, walk us through it.
Good afternoon. So the key to this play is what the defender does at the start to establish position. So 24 does establish legal game position directly in front of the offensive player. The offensive player obviously attempts to go around, and the defender simply just braces for contact, doesn't actually move laterally to maintain. He still gets hit in the torso, the foul will stand.
Scott, what about the fact that he twists his body, that right shoulder comes forward ever so slightly?
Yeah, that's the part of the contact that I took a little bit more time to look at, and I see that contact is just bracing for the play rather than actually extending on the play.
Okay.
Appreciate the explanation, Scott. Thank you.
As I mentioned, they say that he was just protecting himself, I guess.
Instantly summated by you, Henry Gaze, alongside Leonard Copeland this afternoon. 67-57, Southeast Melbourne on top.
In other words, if you know a big guy's coming, you can brace yourself. It's a small guy, you stand there and take it like a man, huh?
See, do you reckon a ref should actually should do that?
No.
He warned him, he said, get it over.
I've been saying this for years and years. You're helping the other team. Don't let him get it over. My job is to keep the ball on the other side. Why are you helping him get the ball over?
Yeah. I think I'm with you.
Always seemed a bit odd, get it in or get it over, whatever it is.
No.
Not your job to help him.
No, not your job to help the other team get it over.
That's the coach's job. That's what they're yelling the same thing for.
And your teammates.
Yep. Delaney, little shot fake. That little flip shot Quinn Delaney loves, where he kind of pops it out with his thumb. Golding for three. The streak ended on Thursday, but Chris Golding's made up for it here. He's 3 of 5 from outside for his 9 points, and Melbourne have the lead back to single figures. Awandu stepping back, rolls it inside to Brown. The defense from Krislovic. And Brown and Delaney get tangled up again. Brown almost tried to sit on Finn Delaney there. Delaney up top, wide open. Sobey with another rebound. That's 4 in the game for Sobey. He's got 12 points. Hunter's got 13 to pace the Phoenix. Doyle's got 17 for Melbourne United to lead all scorers. 69-60. 4.25 minutes remaining here in the third. And that is a strong Nathan Sobey finish.
And I'm going at him again because he's got 3 fouls. Post him up, make him play some D, see if you can get that 4th foul on him. Because if you can, that hurts Melbourne United.
Sobey had Walker on the floor for a moment. Aaliyah rolls inside. He's fouled by Finn Delaney. That is number 4. Delaney.
Here's the steal. Good hands by Aaliyah. And they just haven't been able to put that score. They cut it to 9 and they had possession, weren't able to score. All of a sudden you score there, it gets to 7 or 6. The mindset of Phoenix changes. They've always had that playing with that buffer that's been a little easier for the Phoenix. Really had that solid test thrown at them, yet Phoenix, and to their credit, they've been able to do that because offensively they've been able to keep that the scoreboard ticking over.
And offensive rebounding, because they're getting their second shot, they're getting the ball to the basket, they're knocking down threes.
Kept them at arm's length throughout at Southeast Melbourne this afternoon. Still 13.5 minutes left in the game to decide it. We know how strong Melbourne have been in 4th quarters, including in throwdown in round 8 earlier this season. And a 4th quarter fade out against Adelaide as well. The Phoenix 2 off before the fever break. Tanner Krebs, exactly that. He had too much time and too much space.
But I like your call, Copes, when
United, let's go.
They've taken him out of the game, but regardless of whether Walker's in the game or not, the post-up has been, they've looked pretty good when they've thrown the ball in. Walker comes back in, so going back to that, just
Let's go, Tyson, come on.
if he's guarding Sobey, although Sobey down low, we just saw him overpower Walker.
Brown, Glover, Aaliyah, Sobey, Maldonado, the 5 for the Phoenix. Walker, Krebs, Bowen, Kruzlovic and Golding, the 5 for Melbourne United. Krebs pulls up, left it short. 2 of 6 off the back of 29 on 12 of 14 shooting on Thursday is Tanner Krebs. Southeast Melbourne out by 12. We tick down to 3 minutes to go as Nathan Sobey rises up and the Phoenix fans rise up to celebrate.
That's pretty.
Brown almost got a hand on it. Walker lays it home through contact.
Josh is not happy at all.
Almost put his shoulder out.
Yeah, he did.
Maldonado in the corner. That's short. Golding pushes ahead in transition. Pulls up. No good. He's irate that he doesn't get the call.
He was asking for that before he let the ball go. What the?
Sobey splits the defense. Oh, that is spectacular from Nathan Sobey. He drives inside, he takes the contact with his back to the basket, he scores.
He's putting on a show.
This is scintillating Sobey at his best.
Who's putting on the show, him or Josh King? Josh is going mad. Both.
But that's the thing when you're coming off the on-ball screen, if you're able to split it, you're playing catch-up, and he just goes into the defense and the hang time, the athleticism of the 35-year-old. That's right, 35-year-old playing some of his best basketball.
He's doing great things this season, Nathan Sobey, having a profound impact on this team. He checks out of the game with 20 points to his name to lead all scorers. Doyle's got 17 for Melbourne, as you saw on screen. Southeast Melbourne. 16 points to the good. As Golding goes all the way through and lays that one home. They're equal at 16 points. Their equal biggest lead of the game for Southeast. Peterson, Andrew Gay, Steph Baumgartel with you. Sunday Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. What a massive Sunday it is. Perth and Adelaide still to come. The homecoming for Bryce Cotton. Maldonado across the lane. Can't finish, but pulls down the offensive rebound. New 14 for the Phoenix. Glover's hit one from out here already. Angus Glover's going to go again. Alier pulls it down. Goes back up and scores.
He's tough. He's tough on the glass. He plays defense.
First time in his career he's got a meaningful role on an NBL roster, and he's making the most of it.
Especially when the opposition couldn't carve one out for him last year. I wonder for three. Got it! New game high, 19-point lead. Southeast Melbourne on top, and Wes I wonder is firing up the fire pit.
This is another turnover, and it leads to just a transition bucket. I wonder who's starting to find his groove. He can shoot the three, gets to the rack, got that length on the defensive end. It's been very good.
14 points, 5 of 6 shooting for Wes Iwundu. Tangerine timeout, Melbourne down by 19, of course. Perth and Adelaide still to come, with Bryce Cotton heading back into the jungle. Our crew out west was able to catch up with Isaac Humphries about the main man this afternoon. Bryce Cotton.
I don't think we're trying to make it this huge deal. I think we're just, going into this game like any other game. Obviously, we know there's another layer to tonight with Bryce coming back, but he deserves a lot of the praise and everything that he should get tonight. So hopefully it's a positive experience for him, and he can have a great game. And we always support him. He gets a lot of attention everywhere he goes. So we'll always support him every game. Yeah, there might be a bit more tonight, but we'll just take that as it comes and just, hope that this crowd gives him a good reaction and a good reception, because he deserves that. So.
Indeed he does. He's going to be a big spectacle tonight. Out west, 364.
Do the Wildcats have a Bryce Cotton stopper coach?
Well, I don't think anyone in this league has a Bryce Cotton stopper.
Not individually.
Not, but the way the Perth Wildcats have been playing of recent, if they all come to the party, Doolittle and Windler and Jonah Alatu all play hard like they've been doing, they certainly got a real chance.
Phoenix just forcing yet another turnover. That's 15 turnovers already for Melbourne United.
Oh, Edwards. He absolutely sent Angus Glover packing.
That was whack. That was a real whack right there.
That was. It's a volleyball spike.
Yep. Got up at the net and just put it down past the blocker.
As exceptional as Melbourne United the Phoenix have been, Melbourne United are well and truly off their tuck. There is something that's just not quite right there right now, and perhaps that's an explanation of why Dean Vickerman just went all experimental with the starting lineup.
Well, could that be a part of it as well?
Well, it might have been part of the fix, because he could see what was happening.
Right.
But the fix at this stage hasn't been the solution.
You remember a similar part of the season last year out of the fever break. They got to 12 and 4. They lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
They went through that little mid-season slump.
Yeah.
He's only lost the one to Perth at the moment, but the Wildcats challenged them before the fever break as well. Brown misses that one. Shot clock turned off. Time here for Bowen. And a lot of work to do for Melbourne United as we turn for home. 83-66, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix over United in throwdown 31. A quarter to come here, and then so much more to come after it all as this man returns to the jungle for the first time against his former team. Bryce Cotton walks back into the Wildcats arena. That is coming up from 4:30 Eastern time, the final quarter here on the other side of this.
Welcome back to John Cain Arena, where the Phoenix are up to start the final quarter, 83-66. I was listening into Josh King. He is very happy. They say this is where they want to be. Let's fight now to the finish. I want to know, Drewy and Pope, since Shea Iliad, is Tyson Walker the most important piece for United? Is he the biggest impact to the scoreline right now?
Yeah, well, he's part of it, but I think it's more than one individual right now. And this is a continuation of what we saw against the Wildcats. They've looked not their normal self, Melbourne United, at both ends of the floor.
But Tyson Walker has not been able to be himself.
He's only had 3 shots. He's 2 of 3.
But even getting in foul trouble, he hadn't been able to get up and pick up and get steals and slow people down. You know, Sobey's going to work. Usually they put him on Sobey or somebody to slow that momentum down.
And they're going to have to cause the greatest comeback this season if they get a win here, to get the win here, which you never like to do. You never like to create history in order to win. And that's what they're going to have to do. Go back to the jack jumpers against the Kings.
Nick Marshall game. And 15 at three-quarter time and 16 in that final quarter, and now the lead is out to 21. He's getting out of hand. Biggest lead of the game for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix coming out of three-quarter time.
I know, like you said, Joel, last year during the break, didn't Melbourne United lose like 4 in a row?
Yeah,
that's happened the last couple of years.
Yep.
Yeah,
they were 12-4 last year, and then they lost 4 in a row to get to 12-8. They lost those to Brisbane, Illawarra, Southeast Melbourne, and Tasman.
And then actually went on the road and went on a tear on the road.
Yeah, yep. So
because of a lot of away games because of the venue not being available due to the Australian Open.
Well, they were 12-8. They finished 7-2 over the rest of the season, and the vast majority of those games were on the road. Walker tosses it inside to Edwards, and that just was not there. You mentioned that they've looked off. This Melbourne United team has not looked united today.
That's exactly right. From the word go, they didn't look united.
87-66. This Phoenix crowd is quiet at the moment, but they are ready to erupt. John Brown, no good.
They're going at him. That's 3 possessions straight. That's 2. He's able to knock down the mid-range. That's by design. They feel like that he can take Edwards, and there's a Milton Doyle who's bounced back game. He is 5 of 19 against the Wildcats. But here this afternoon, although he didn't start, he's 6 of 11. He's got 19 points. And he's really been their most consistent performer today.
He's having a really good season. Last year, his off game, like what he had against Perth on Thursday, would have been a 2 or a 3-point game. Right. That was the thing that we saw from Milton over the course of the last season in Tassie. We hadn't seen from him previously.
That's right, and we all spoke about him being more aggressive.
Melbourne create the turnover there. Down by 18 points. 2 minutes played here in this final term. Delaney goes straight through the chest of Hunter, and Geordie's got something to say about that. Delaney hits the floor. That is 5, and that means an early minute for Finn.
Yeah.
He is finished for the afternoon.
Just the reach in. It was probably a bit of frustration that he missed that play and tried to get it back too quick. Caused a foul. He sits out with 13 points.
7 rebounds for Finn Delaney, 4 turnovers. Melbourne with 16 in the game. Walker's got 5 of them. Edwards trying to affect the shot from Iwundu. Did enough. Back the other way come United. Walker, Krebs underneath. Straight away 3 ball for Walker. He's good.
And he can do that. He can get himself going. He hasn't been in this game the whole game, though.
0 of 5 from outside on Thursday against Perth. 87-72, Sobey back the other way. That's an important one from Nathan Sobey.
He's been solid the whole game, offensively and defensively. He's going to the glass, he's playing defense.
Well, they've had the counter on the offense every single time. At that time, it's way too easy. Walker just gets in the paint. But anytime you see a bit of momentum by Melbourne United, the Phoenix have been able to answer with their offense. They've come up with big plays on big possessions.
It's one of the questions, would they have enough at the offensive end in one of these games? As Sobey scoots through again. Sobey has 25 in the ball game and continues his hot form. He's across with a hard foul on Golding at midcourt.
Hey, Jesse.
Southeast Melbourne up by 18 points.
Hey, I just said the same thing, bro. I got you.
I don't know if that was a smart foul by Sobey, though. That was his fourth.
Well, it was a smart foul for this possession because it stopped the transition, but it is his fourth. But yeah, the margin's comfortable, but not over yet.
No, sir, it's not over yet.
Southeast Melbourne's biggest throwdown win was 15 points in round 7. It's the 22-23 season. So they are on track. If they can keep their pace up at the moment to record a little bit of history of their 10th throwdown win from these matchups in number 31 this afternoon. Sobey working on Edwards. Alier up top. Walker, Krebs, Edwards, Doyle, Golding, the fight for United. Brown, Glover, Alier, Sobey, Iwundu for the Phoenix. Walker speeding his way inside, banks it home. Continue just to chip away at things here, Melbourne.
Phoenix needs to be smart here. Make sure you get a good shot every time down the floor.
Well, that's right. And it looks like they are trying to be smart and take the pace out of the game, but you still want to remain positive on the possessions. Like I said, this is not over.
Glover around and out. Alier keeps it alive. Glover with another!
Now it's over.
Angus Glover hits the 3-ball and might have just called game. 95-76 on the Amy replay. Glover's got 11 points. 5:41 to go. It's Southeast by 19. That man's form continues. Angus Glover, 11 points today. He's averaging 12.5 on the season. He's their second leading scorer so far this season, Southeast Melbourne. He's putting together a remarkable campaign.
And he missed game 2, I think. Is that right, Joel?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he had the ankle injury against Perth. He then missed the games against Tassie and Melbourne.
And that made a huge difference because with his confidence and the way he shoots it, it helps Sobey. It gives Sobey a Batman. I mean, a Robin to his Batman.
95-76. They're building quite the little superhero crew with Geordie Hunter as well, putting his cape on this season and putting together a really good shooting campaign. Southeast Melbourne by 19. 5 minutes, 41 remaining here in this game. Melbourne find themselves in a 19-point hole in throwdown at 31. Leonard Copeland, you're keen to talk, have a look at their next 5.
And you spoke about them losing 4 games in a row last year. Their next 4 games away at Adelaide. But these are some tough games at home. I mean, Sydney are desperate. Illawarra can be hit or miss. And Tassie, right now, you know, are playing tough basketball as well. So, Drew.
They're playing for their lives.
Yeah.
And they don't return here until right at the end of the season when they take on Adelaide. Of course, their next 2 home games in January come in Bendigo when they take the Ignite Cup action up there. 95-78, halfway through this final term. Steph, you were listening to Dean Vickerman at that last timeout.
Sure was. It was short and sweet, but he summed it up in his opening lines. He said, the fight just hasn't been there, but that changes now.
Well, we didn't see it on that possession in a game. John Brown, it's almost like they're conceding their mid-range, and we're talking about the down form by Melbourne United, but let's just give some love to Phoenix as well. They have been exceptional in this game and building some momentum. They're bona fides right now. Their record's really good. They've got a big major scalp to their credit, which a lot of the pundits out there are questioning whether or not they could compete with the best teams. Well, here's an answer for them. They're getting all sorts of celebrity types coming to their game. G-Flip's here, having a blast, and it's all coming together. G-Flip.
Okay.
97-79.
There's superstars in the house.
Absolutely, they are.
It's a normal thing. You think of the bigger brother. Everyone jumping on Melbourne United. Well, how's about the Phoenix and what they can deliver?
Well,
Such an exciting team. The Southeast Melbourne group play the right way.
And they do it a little differently.
Yep.
Coach made the point the other day during the game that there's a lot of similarities between all the teams and offensively what they try and do, but at least Phoenix, defensively, they've got something different way to go about it.
Unconventional, but it's entertaining all the same, especially when Angus Glover's doing things like that. He raises the bat. Southeast Melbourne up 21 with 100 points on the board. Krislovich will get that to go with one to come. 100 to 81.
Josh King doesn't like it because he thought that there was similar contact down the other end, but there was a push.
Just a little push, though, Drew. It wasn't
there wasn't a lot in it.
It's the third time this season Melbourne's given up 100 points in a game. 107 and 102. Both of those have come against the Illawarra Hawks. Living dangerously was Iwandu. Got it to Brown, who hit it ahead to Glover, and that's called an offensive foul.
Well,
no, it's actually a charge.
What's that? But if it doesn't come in...
He's going to stay with the Phoenix. My apologies.
He lands, gets a step.
replay center, let's review the status of the ball.
Stand up. All right.
Backcourt. 24. Yeah, backcourt, Les.
All right, Pat, pull in, let's go, come on.
Brown, Glover, Alir, Maldonado, Iwandu. 5 down the stretch here for Southeast Melbourne. Akechi Alir with a big defensive play a couple of moments ago. Going to work on offense here. Turnaround, no good. Rebound will stay with Melbourne and Krislovich.
Pass.
Wow. Daniel soaring inside, and where's Iwandu's got some words for the youngster.
So the young fella, don't bring that stuff in here.
Let's go.
Great find by Tommy Wilson. In transition, puts his head into the traffic, threads the needle, and Iwandu saw it coming.
That at the afters as well. Good there for Wilson in the corner. Char getting set to check into the game.
John Brown, he just does things the right way. He never forces anything, playing a pass ahead. That time was a really good look. Now, he wasn't able to get the ball, but the fact that he's a willing passer and he sees it before it's actually caught the ball, he knew what the action was.
Wandu no good, fights for the rebound. Foul, Krislovich. Push called on. Where's Iwandu?
Go!
Yeah, because he gets up to the ball and then he takes him out.
Yeah, coming over the top as Brown and Krislovich battle for the rebounds. Melbourne United go on to lose this game. Well, at least on the live ladder, slip back to second with Adelaide still to play. And the 36ers can cement that top spot. They play the Wildcats a little bit later on as Dash Daniels limps back to the locker room. Tangled up on that last play and had a heavy fall a couple of moments ago as well.
What's that upset about it? Challenge it.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. It's going to be like, well, oh, you could call that. Oh, well, then call every time they bump us. Coaching, boy, they love working these referees. I love it.
Technical foul.
Gee.
Technical foul called on Josh King, who still clearly hasn't...
Well, we heard what was said then. Now, maybe it was the accumulation of speed, but you got a tech foul for that?
We have black ball.
Nothing particularly egregious or...
Like, those are the sort of conversations you have. Now, maybe we'd miss the accumulation of stuff that we haven't heard that led to, no, I've given you a warning, that's enough, and something as relatively
He kept yelling at me.
innocuous that...
Well, hardest job in basketball, being a ref.
Indeed. 100 to 84.
I don't know, Coach. Get out there, start digging some trenches, and then get back to me on that referee.
Stobie comes through. Wilson back the other way. Oh, Alir says no.
Alir is, how many block shots did that play?
3.
It's 2 in the quarter and 3 for the game.
He's longer than you think, man.
This is a guy who was on this Melbourne United team last year. They didn't find much of a role for him. He comes to South East Melbourne after another really good NBL 1 season and continues to impress.
His last couple of games, he's actually found a spot now.
They went with him crunch time. They went with him ahead of Geordie Hunter against the Illawarra Hawks.
21 minutes again for Akechalier as Walker can't connect with Kruzlovic there.
It just seemed like they're out of whack, Joey. I mean, I don't want to keep harping back on who started and who didn't start, but it just seems like they're not the same Melbourne United team right now.
There's lacking of rhythm to their game that we saw earlier on in the season.
And yes, they're allowed to have a bad game. Nobody's not saying that.
Dean Vickerman said after that last game as Walker and Glover get into it. Glover's going for the ball. Tyson Walker's a bit bemused about all of that. So, of course, this was the first fever break where Dean Vickerman has had charge of the Boomers.
They really look frustrated, though. They look frustrated from the jump ball, Drew.
Yeah. Walker comes out of the game. He said after that last game, Vickerman, that he thought they put a good program together over the break. Other misses that one, but for whatever reason, it just didn't translate into what they delivered on the court on Thursday, and it hasn't again here.
I spoke to Tommy Wilson. He said their practices weren't all that much different to what they're doing the regular season. They had the weekend off, which is not unreasonable. There's an offensive foul. Again, that's another example of when you're in those handoffs or the on-ball screens just fall to the ground and you've got a 50-50. What did he do wrong? He had the ball when he got collided into.
The first time he kept yelling at me. He just kept yelling at me. He just kept yelling at me.
Maybe he's yelling because it's loud in here. You got a band to your left. I got Joel in my ear to the right. I can't hear anything.
He's not worried about me, coaches. Aaliyah puts some hurt on the rim. G-Flip loves it. And so do the remainder of the South East Melbourne fans. 102-84. They are on track for their biggest throwdown win. Not far away from their highest throwdown score either, South East, which is 109. And Akechalier continues to impress, up in almost a double figures.
One up, please. One up.
7 points.
International superstar.
Indeed. One of the great musicians this country's produced in recent years.
What's your favourite track, Cokes?
Killing my time, I think.
Yeah, I think you were killing your time trying to look it up.
Yeah, Joe, you're a funny man.
I thought you were going to say, get me out of here.
I thought drink too much was going to be his favourite one.
I might have to go buy this whole CD.
It's sharp, Coke. It's sharp.
Oh, listen to Joey.
No, it is, Cokes.
I believe it.
102-86. Good driving music, putting her in the car on the way home. Foster now out there for South East Melbourne. Kruzlovic, good defence. And Coppins, who started the game for Melbourne with that big change from Dean Vickerman. They didn't get the desired result and found themselves in a hole early. They have not been able to dig themselves out of it as Wilson goes over and back.
Now, Jordan, you put yourself in Dean Vickerman's shoes right now. What do you say to your team after a game like this? And how's the week going to be for you? What do you need to focus on?
That's what you need to feel for the team, because sometimes it's better just to
breathe,
lower the temperature, get through it, or sometimes you got to go with a stick and say, hey, we need to bring your mouth guards. We got to come and we got to put some work in to get that aggression back in. But it's very hard to tell when you're on the outside looking in. You sort of need to know the personality of the team. As Mitchell with a step back, splashes the 3 ball. They've been on fire, 48% from the land of plenty. They shot 58 in the game against the Hawks and only made 16, but they have not backed away from it.
29 tonight, so they have taken half as many threes as they did on Thursday. And still produced the desired result.
Is this Melbourne's worst loss this year?
Yeah, to me it is.
No, I mean, points-wise.
Yep, so they're...
Forget about the points. It's about the eye test.
Previous worst loss was 14 against Illawarra when they played in that Ignite Cup game. Speaking of course, South East Melbourne will be in action in the Ignite Cup on Wednesday, presented by Disney+. The Hungry Jacks NBL Ignite Cup is turning up the heat. All the latest updates, head to nbl.com.au/Ignite Cup. Scan the QR code on your screen, including the ladder, as we edge closer to crowning the inaugural Ignite Cup winners, taking home 40 grand, with 60% of that going direct to the players. It'll be South East Melbourne and Tassie in Ignite Cup action on Wednesday from Gippsland.
Oh, my.
Oh, Mitchell!
Mitchell!
He loves it, and why not? So much to like about this South East Melbourne Phoenix performance this afternoon. The fire pit, a sold-out John Cain Arena, is on their feet. Krizlovic can't hit. Glover takes it off the rim. Coppins is in there fighting for it. It'll fall out of play. It'll stay with South East, and they'll turn the shot clock off as we head for home here.
They're reviewing. You heard the official. They're going to review this last possession.
What about Mitchell? Man, I told you he can play.
Well, he can get streaky height, can't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got good size, really good athlete.
Played multiple positions as well, so.
11 points, 4 of 4. He is the 6th Phoenix player to get into double figures.
Had a couple of DMPs already this season, so it's not like he's been with a consistent role on this lineup.
Yeah, it's good to have a guy like that, though, in case of injury, in case somebody goes down, you know he can come in and get the job done.
He's going to go back with United off that last play. Sobey with 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a couple of steals. Glover's got 14. Brown's got 14. Iwundu's got 14. Hunter with 13. Milton Doyle paced Melbourne with 22 on 7 of 14 shooting. Golding 11. Delaney 13. He fouled out. Walker nearly fouled out with 12. 3 ball around and out for United. And the South East Melbourne Phoenix have produced a masterclass on Sunday hoops. They'll get another look at it. Mitchell will shoot the 3. That will fall. It's their biggest throwdown score. It's their biggest throwdown win. And all of a sudden, little brother is all grown up. The South East Melbourne Phoenix batter Melbourne United 111 to 86. That is a statement of intent from the team from the Heartland.
Yeah, it's incredible. 111 points. That's a tough ask against anyone in this league. But to do it against one of the better defensive teams just shows how switched on they were, how aggressive they were on the offensive end. And they bounced back from that loss a couple of nights ago against Illawarra in spectacular fashion.
This is good for basketball. When you got a team, when you got 2 strong teams going at it like this. Yeah, we want to watch the talent prevail, but at the end of the day, Southeast Melbourne came in and did a job today. From tip ball, they look different.
They were locked in. It's the second biggest margin of any of the 31 throwdowns to date. And by far, it is Southeast Melbourne's biggest win. Previous to that, it was 15. Today, it is 25 points to the good. The Phoenix and Melbourne United now on the live ladder will sit second. And Adelaide can cement that when they take on Perth. That game is just around the corner.
Well, they're going to be happy at both ends of the floor, and I'm not sure where they'll be the most happy. To hold Melbourne United to only the 86 on 45% is a mighty effort with all the firepower on that United team.
Indeed it is. This man continues to play MVP-style basketball. Nathan Sobey is with Steph Ballgardle.
Absolutely. There's no surprises. That is our Foot Locker player of the game today. Congratulations. Your biggest ever throwdown win. How does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, just a sold-out crowd on a Sunday. Great atmosphere, and it was great to come away with the win.
Guys, were able to really dominate from the get-go. Do you feel like that speaks to how hungry you were for this win?
Absolutely. I mean, that week off, the 2 weeks off kind of hurt us with the way we started on Thursday, and I think we got back to who we were to start that game, and we were able to continue momentum after that.
Another insane afternoon for yourself, 25 points. How are you able to do this week on week?
I mean, my teammates get me in the right spots, get me open looks, get me easy looks. They do all the hard work.
Thanks so much. Well done.
He is the leader. He is the heart and soul of this team, Nathan Sobey. And that is a result of consequence in the course of this season. Melbourne slipped from their perch atop the table. 2 losses in a row for United. And Adelaide can now stitch that first spot up with a win this afternoon against the Wildcats. It's a day when all the top 4 teams are in action. And in this one, it was third beating first. The Phoenix over Melbourne, too good. We will wrap it all up on the other side.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
What a performance it was, one of real substance for this Southeast Melbourne Phoenix team. Their biggest throwdown score, their biggest throwdown win. They can scarcely believe what they saw, and they will be overjoyed with what they performed and delivered this afternoon. 111.86 our final here in the fire pit. Andrew Gaze and Leonard Copeland our match stats. Again, it's a pretty picture for the Phoenix.
It's my word, it is. Free throw